how sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal, HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. The room just gets like emptier and emptier as the weeks go on, but I assure you it will change. It will change as my screen is kind of glitchy. It's all right. We'll get through this. We'll get through this as we do every week together. This is your weekly Thursday night support group, aka Thursday night nerdy talk show, where we sit back and relax. I said we sit back and relax. And hopefully by now, hopefully you've poured yourself just a little bit
more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
As we proceed to give you what you need and prepare for the weekend. Actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to do like Diddy jokes anymore. Anyway, yeah, fun show in store today because we're gonna just talk about whatever it is you want to talk about, which is probably things that you are not talking about, which is comic book TV shows. But if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, newsletter, spoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat, support one another, plug yo shit. Like I said, we're gonna shoot the breeze today. I know we're gonna come up with stuff to talk about. I just hate that this camera does this, but it's all right. We'll get through it. We'll get through it together, as we do every week, like I said. But without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend. It's me. It's me. I'm the problem. It is me. So happy to have you guys here with me today as I adjust screen sizes and all that fun stuff. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. The chat is now open, says Nerd Affiliated. Thanks for the heads up. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Dave's Dimension in the house. Good to see you. Let me see. Is it better on this one? This one. I feel like it's this one, but they're not great. I feel like neither one is great. And I hate that. I hate that. Aaron Waller in the house. Good to see you. Get your special socks out, nerds. It's true. It's true. It's damn true. And yeah, smash that like button. Smash that like button. Henry Resilient in the house. I'm surprised you're not doing a stream right now. You've been streaming a lot lately, and I've been enjoying it. I pop in and out from time to time. No Diddy. The man collects Chris in the house. Good to see you. It's time. Hello, my fellow nerds. There you go. Rolando in the house. I feel like you've not been here in a long time, but I think, right? Because I've seen you on other streams, so welcome back. But I don't think you've been here since you've been back, so I will say, welcome back to those good old days. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Whoa! I had to do it, but welcome back, Rolando. We're happy to have you. It's true. The man. Let's go. Let's go. Everybody sing hi to each other. Love that. Love that. Prepping for tomorrow. Hector David Jr. called me out in his return song. Hector David Jr. And that's Hector David Jr. That's who I thought you were talking about. He's talking about, in case you guys don't know, a Power Ranger who was born 7 days and 4 years before me. Interesting. Henry getting attacked by all the Power Rangers. You know, Henry, I'm learning something as time goes on in this YouTube game. If you want to blow up and you want to get popular, you can't tell the truth and talk about things that are true. That's all I'm saying. It's actually not a dig at anybody that's ever in this chat, by the way, in case somebody takes it there. I was watching something today. I messaged Anthony and I was like, this makes me sick. But maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I'll talk about it. Wow. Maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I won't. We will see. Archer already packed up his baby oil. You know, that could go one of two ways. That could be a Diddy joke, since I'm already like 2 in. Or it could be a bald guy joke from Fast and Furious. It can go either way. It could be a jacked joke. Maybe, I remind you of The Rock, because I'm just so physically fit, I breathe hard going upstairs on purpose because I want other people to feel good about themselves. Not because I'm winded. It has been a while. All right, yeah, so we're happy to have you. They bully me. They do bully you. We're here for you. We back you up, Henry. At all times, we back you up. Patrick in the house. Good to see you. Last week, Patrick was actually in New York, and I was mad because he randomly went to Walmart, randomly found Tatsu, because that's how that works. If you tell people the truth, if you tell the truth, you hurt people's feelings. It is, yeah. Oh, and you're going for a Diddy joke. All right. All right. Let's get the plugs out the way. Or as Chris the Man Collects says, let's get the social media plugs out the way. Nerdaffiliated.com, your one-stop shop for all things nerd affiliated. Links to the store, links to photos, links to the live streams and shorts, all sorts of fun stuff. It's over on the website. I've been keeping up to date with the podcast too. Which only requires me to literally remove the video from this and post it. But it's been a struggle. But we shall persevere. We shall make it. Nerd Affiliated on Instagram, your one-stop shop for the latest news from us. The latest and greatest. I got it perfect. We got a super chat from Henry. Hey, thank you. There's something about being unfiltered that I enjoy. I enjoy others who also are unfiltered. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Maybe I will talk about it. But yeah, Nerd Affiliated, checks out. But also, if you're into the Ghostbusters side of things, you can check out the Real Nerdbusters on Instagram, therealnerdbusters.com. And yeah, Comic-Con at this point, 13 days away. It's crazy to think. The Real Nerdbusters will be back better than ever. I will spoil. Stephen Louis will not be busting this year.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
But it's fine. Now, they got some really dope cosplays lined up. We know what they are. I think we've talked about it before. So that's going to be a good time. It'll be a good time. And then Anthony's coming through with his new, am I going to call it a proton pack? His new bustin' weapon, which you guys have been watching the channel, you know about. If you haven't and you don't know what I'm talking about, subscribe and check out Anthony's videos. And then I will be rolling through with the 2.0, rocking khakis this year, which I've worn on the stream a bunch, and some new electronics in the pack. Pretty pumped about that. Also, I don't talk about it a lot, but we're on Facebook as well. So give us a like over there if you guys want to have conversations and stuff over on Facebook, you can do that. And then we have Discord as well, which I'm trying my best to be, more involved with. But it's like, how many social medias can you run at the same time? Luckily, I have Sal on the team. Sal runs the Discord. Patrick's usually in there. Dave's in there now. A couple others. So, yeah. Yeah, there's that. But yeah, once again, thank you to Henry for that.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
I like how my mouse kind of doesn't work anymore. It just decides to work, doesn't work. I don't know what's going on. So Henry said this earlier. Penguin is starting to grow on me, and we now have 2 episodes of the Penguin that have been released. Episode 3 is this weekend, called Bliss. Comes out on Sunday. At the moment, 81% of people like the show, 8.8 on IMDb, 94 on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. So, what did we actually, just so I can have a reminder here, we gave the Penguin, did I not post that? Oh, I'm on the wrong page. We gave the Penguin, after the first episode, a 3.5. And actually Henry here said I fell asleep halfway through it. So you're turning around on it. Ergo, the Penguin's grown on me. I am going to, I speak for myself. I forget what the team thought about it. I'm going to knock it down to a 3. And the reason being is, I feel like it's okay. It's just, to me, it's just another mafia show. And I'm not against that. Sopranos, one of my favorite shows of all time. I love, all the Scorsese movies, Goodfellas, Godfather, all that stuff. I'm all for it. Casino. But even now, as I'm watching Boardwalk Empire, I've never seen it before, so we're on a first pass through of it. I'm just like, all right, it's just another mafia show, and it's not doing anything different. And don't get me wrong, I've wanted that. I've wanted a more grounded Batman, street level show. We thought we were going to get that with Titans. We didn't really get it. But, that's what I really wanted. And this show, considering it doesn't have Batman, it feels like just another show. I said this last week maybe, or maybe it was on somebody else's stream. I know I jumped on Dave's the other day. I can't remember if I said it there. But I wish that the show had Batman involved, even if he wasn't there. Because that would make it stand apart. Because we're right now, where the show is 2 episodes in, it's very much like Gotham, where there's no powers at the moment. So if you're not going to have that, then what makes it a Gotham City story? You need some sort of hero to your villain. And right now it's just all villain, but there's also no powers to it or anything close to it. So that's not a spoiler. So therefore it's just another show, right? Colin Farrell's great. Colin Farrell as Penguin, as Oswald Cobblepot, great. I forget it's him every single time. I love that. So it's not like the show's shitty. Sorry, I realized I wasn't showing my screen just now. So I'm not saying the show is shitty by any sense. I just watch the show and I'm just like, all right, it's something different. What are they going to do? Who knows? That kind of thing. But I feel like if Batman was involved outside of a final episode thing, which I don't know that to be true, speculating, I feel like it'd be dumb to not do some sort of Batman thing at the end because that's what people would expect. I wish that as things were going on, things were affected off screen to simulate what it would be like if you're trying to run a criminal organization and this vigilante keeps messing things up, but you're not there. You're hearing about it. You're blatantly affected by it financially, but you're not there to see it. And that's why he's a myth, you know? I know it's early on, but like some guy in a red hood messed things up. Some guy, not the same city, but, you know, hooded guy with a green hood, you know, that kind of stuff. So I think that would help it. But at the moment, first 2 episodes, something to watch. And I feel like a 3 is also just giving it a pass because it's DC related, you know? So let me catch up on the chat, see where you guys are at there. Speaking of Comic-Con, Patrick said, I really wish I had time to come up again. I'm going to get more cons next year. Good. Hopefully, yeah, me too. You know, I've not done Boston Comic-Con in last time I did Boston, 2019, I think I went. 2018. I'd like to do that again. I've only gone to Rhode Island once in the last like 4 years. Want to make that a more regular thing. So yeah, I want to do more cons as well. Henry says Discord's a great way to connect. Yeah, it's true. On the podcast I was listening to today, they were talking about Discord, and the guy was like, "Oh, you mean a chat room? That's what it is." And I was like, "Yeah, actually, for us old heads, it's like, oh, you mean the chat room? Yeah." And stay connected. Yeah. Dave says I've yet to watch Penguin. I can't even tell you like to watch it right now. Like if you get to it, you get to it. But if you don't, you don't. Like I'm so indifferent. Patrick's going to start this weekend. Good. Cutthroat in the house. Good to see you. Want to sing hi to him. Dave said, holy ads, Batman. That was like the 3rd ad that just played. Really? Yeah, it's slow. Oh, it's a slow burn. Let me see if I can like change that. Sorry about that. I never want you guys to get like bogged down with ads. You know what I wish YouTube would do? Kind of just, you know, random thought. I wish YouTube gave you the ability to grant your members a pass on the ads. Like if you're watching my show, you don't get hit with the ads. If you're paying, like if you're a paying member, I wish they would do that. Because YouTube already takes a cut of your money when you have a member. So like, just take that cut and you know, live and let die. Saying what's up? Yeah, Penguin next. I passed on it. Yeah, I would even say at this point you could wait till the end, you know? Henry says, it's building on the Gotham lore. Scarecrow was teased in episode 2. I didn't even catch that. Did not even catch that. Let's get a real Batman show. That's my opinion. I agree. But, you know, DC is so protective of Batman. And it's weird because they're not that way about Superman, but they're that way about Batman. And then the 2 times they let Batman show up on a TV show, final episode of Gotham, which was trash. And then the Titans. He showed up at what, Titans season 2? For no reason. So, you know. Rambling nerd Anthony in the house. Just talking about you. Sorry I'm late at work. It's busy. Have a great show. I will say be safe. Saying hi to Rambling. Kind of like Twitch. Oh, does Twitch do that too? It does actually. Yeah. I forgot about that. Let the ads play. I just want everyone to get paid. Hey, I appreciate that. The thug therapist was Scarecrow. Oh, really? Really? Okay. Batman is $1 billion IP. Yeah, I get it, but I thought the thug therapist was strange. Yeah, I thought that too. Like exactly what I was thinking. Sorry, my headphones are like really loud in my ears. I also thought it was Hugo Strange. Did they say a name in that to know if it was Strange or Crane? What's better, disconnected DC or MCU Marvel? Yeah, we'll get to that shortly. Did you like when they had the CW, the Batgirl series? No, I forgot that was a series. Yo, I forgot Black Lightning was a thing. I legit forgot Black Lightning was a show until a meme I saw online that was about Halloween. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It seemed like it was. But it was like all the characters from CW in their first season shows, first season uniforms. And I was like, oh shit, Black Lightning. That's the thing. I forgot that it was a show. People liked it. It wasn't for me. I tried. It wasn't for me. But actually, I watched the Stephen Amell episode of Inside of You. I don't know if you guys watch that show. I've definitely talked about it on the stream before. Let's see. With Michael Rosenbaum. Actually, I just watched this one too. Michael Dorn. And my headphones are going nuts right now. Yeah, this one was Stephen Amell 2 weeks ago. It was pretty good. He was talking about Arrow. I don't remember if it was this episode or a previous one. He's been on a couple times. He's talked about Arrow and how, they were treated very much like second rate when it came to their standings in DC. And understandable. I feel like Arrow out of the gate was like cool, but like you're not Smallville. Even though I hate Smallville, but that's how the world, I think, perceived Arrow. But as time went on, Arrow became like the show, But to him and probably the cast, they were never given that respect. And I think from the fans they were, but I'm sure, from the studio, you were probably treated like shit. I don't doubt that. Doubt that. Cutthroat liked Arrow from the beginning. I actually didn't like it at first. It took me a while. I jumped in. I jumped in after he died, fighting Slade Wilson, and people were like, "Man, that show's so good." And they killed Arrow, and I was like, "Oh, they killed the hero in the show. I'll give it a shot." And I started from episode 1, and then of course, before I got to that season, I learned that he survived. But at that point, I fought through season 1, which I hate that that's a normal thing now. You're like, I got to fight through the first season. But after that, it was pretty good until the end. I didn't like the last season, but apparently people love that season. Rolando said he liked the Batgirl series, and somebody else said something about Batgirl 2. Yeah, I didn't like it. Patrick asking tough questions. Thug had her hypnotized. I think he was Scarecrow, or maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, so Hugo Strange is also a doctor at Arkham, and he does a lot of mind control stuff. The Mad Hatter, he does mind control stuff as well. I can't remember his government name, but you have a couple different options that could have been. But again, if they're doing things and not being affected by Batman, it just, doesn't do anything for me. I feel like it's dangerous saying you like CW shows online. I will disagree with you on that. I think if you said, I think even if you said you like Legends of Tomorrow, people wouldn't judge you hard. They'd be like, all right, that's weird. But I don't think they'd say like, oh, wow, you're an idiot. It's not like if you said, this is the top of the totem pole, but it's not like if you said, I love Last Jedi. people are just like, you're fucking stupid. Don't talk to me. But if you say, oh, I liked Arrow. Oh, I liked Black Lightning. I liked Supergirl. People would be like, oh, okay. It wasn't for me, but, whatever. But yeah, by the time they got to Batgirl being a thing, I was just like, and again, not even because it's her. It just didn't work. It just wasn't good. Wasn't good. JB in the house. Good to see you. Leaving work, listening on the road. There you go. The strongest of geeks. Geek strong in the house. Good to see you. Cutthroat said the last season sucked. Yeah. Everybody saying hi to each other. Rambling Nerd says he's enjoying Penguin. Consult the blind guy in the house. Good to see you. Been a while. Bruh. Geek Strong's also enjoying Penguin. Hello, fellow nerd fam. And everybody saluting to JB. Love that. A lot of awesome creators in the chat. Make sure you guys follow each other if you're not doing so. Mega Dan in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, make sure you guys are all subscribed to each other. So that brings us to Agatha. So to answer your question, let's go back up to that one. What's better, disconnected DC or essentially disconnected MCU Marvel? I'm going to give the nod to DC, but only because even though Penguin isn't like my favorite thing, when it's on the TV, I don't feel like I'm utterly wasting my time. Agatha, on the other hand, as I do a refill here, Agatha's atrocious. It is not good. It is not good. And will I say Agatha All Along is the worst show? Absolutely not. It is not the worst show at all. At all. If I also think of the worst Marvel TV show. Worst Marvel TV show. Secret Invasion, maybe? Secret Invasion might be the worst TV show. Let's go to the lists. You just made the list. Filter TV. And we're talking Disney, right? When we have that TV show conversation, I'm pretty sure we're talking Disney. So Disney jumps in here. WandaVision kicked us off. Secret Invasion's the worst. Secret Invasion has to be the worst show. Because even the one episode of this is funny. The one good episode of She-Hulk and the one good episode of Echo were both the Daredevil episodes. So I feel like those two episodes respectively on each show are better, or those two episodes are at least good in those two shows. Secret Invasion had 0 good episodes. None. And actually, I need to add here Agatha All Along. For a second there, I didn't think I had What If on there. Let's see. When does... September 18th, right? TV first season. Yeah. So Agatha is not the worst show so far. I was at least intrigued in part of the first episode. But my review here remains my answer, right? Episode 4 dropped today. I've not watched it yet. I have no desire to watch it. I feel like I'm at a point where, and I'll get to your comments what's that guy's? John Campea. I've talked about him a bunch. John Campea, during the Acolyte, said at a certain point, if the show does not turn around, I'm done watching it, because I'm not going to hate watch something and not just give the view, but waste my time. I feel like I'm not at the point yet, and we are not at the point yet on this channel where we could just like not talk about stuff and not follow these things to know what's happening. Right. Because at the end of the day, if something happens, people are going to be like, oh, how does that connect to X, Y, and Z? You have to know. So luckily there's a group of us, between myself, Aaron, Sal, and Anthony, I feel like we watch all the shows that come out across all the platforms that are superhero related. So because of that, we kind of, somebody has to watch the show. And I wish it wasn't the case sometimes, because I really don't want to watch this. I really don't. Now, is this, again, the worst show? No. I kind of just realized there might be a spoiler in that picture, so I'm just going to change the image right there. I didn't catch that before, actually, which is funny. So let me switch out real quick. And I'll go back right now. But the show, Agatha All Along, it just doesn't serve any purpose. It's a pointless show. It's useless. Nothing happening in the show affects anything else. And sadly, to your question about being disconnected, that's not necessarily anything new, but at least some of the other shows, you're like, oh, at least there's like fist-to-face action going on. There's some sort of superhero thing going on, even if there's magic. In this one, nothing's happening. They're just on a quest. Because why not? You know? So, sadly, I don't think anything could save the show. I'm seeing all these. This is the crazy part. Agatha. You're getting stories like this. Hits 9.3 million views in a week. People are talking about how, it's doing very well. Again, 9.3. As a reminder, Disney will tell you what they want you to know. They don't release the viewership on all these things. It's not a thing. If they tell you, it's because they know it's a good number. So here you go. But you don't have a good reference point because they don't give you all the numbers from all the shows. But I don't see any casual people talking about this show. That's always my test. Is there somebody, whether it's on Instagram, in my day-to-day life, somebody who I like randomly talk to here and there, is there anybody who's like, oh, have you started watching Agatha? Oh, have you watched She-Hulk? Oh, have you watched The Acolyte? If these things are not coming up, then to me, these numbers are fugazi. These numbers are just like, all right, most people are giving it a shot to see if there's anything to it. Oh, there's nothing here. We're out. That's what that number is to me every time. Because I think Acolyte also had a strong start. And people were like, oh, it's in your face. Acolyte's doing great. And look what happened. So there's that. Let's go to the chat. Where'd I leave off? I think it's in contention with the worst Marvel TV show. Agatha All Along, Z's. What DC superhero would you like them to do in the future? Honestly, if they gave Titans another run, I'd be down. Aaron and I's friendship actually began off of Titans. And I think Titans Season 2 had some real high points. Season 1 was trash. Season 2, garbage, not as bad. But again, ground level heroes, real issues affecting them. There was something there to Titans. Season 3, there's this, but I'm always going to be a fan of the ground level type stuff. That's why I love Daredevil so much. I think Daredevil is just a great show in general. But I think we can all agree part of the charm to the Daredevil show was that he was a person and he got hurt every day. he had powers, but he was getting his ass kicked, you know? And you kind of relate to that. That's why Spider-Man's so charming. You know, Spider-Man, things never work out for Spider-Man. He doesn't get the money. He doesn't get the girl. He doesn't get to go around and kids are like, oh, Spider-Man's awesome. Like, people hate him. As much as he tries, doesn't get the girl, broke, loses his job, gets fired time after time. People in his life die. The world as a whole thinks he's a loser. Like, that's what makes Spider-Man enjoyable, you know? And when you have shows where people are like perfect and like things are great, he doesn't do anything. Penguin's better than Agatha? Yeah, I agree. Geek Strong says, I haven't watched Agatha. I watched 10 minutes. I do plan on watching it when it's over. We can binge and fast forward if needed. You're going to fast forward a lot. I think the only reason this is getting more views than Miss Marvel is because at face value, when you look at Miss Marvel, you assume it's a kid show. But with this one, you're like, oh, this is probably for adults. And there is more mature stuff in it. But that's probably the only reason it gets a couple more views than like Miss Marvel. Everybody saying hi to each other. She-Hulk and SI crossing the finish line, holding hands. Secret Invasion, SI. Yeah. Will we ever get the all-female show that's good? Some would say that's an oxymonic. An oxymoron? Oxymonic? Is that the right way to say it? I'm dumb. You guys know this. Oxymonic. Okay. Oxymoronic. Yeah. I think you could do it. I think you could totally do it. But they never aim to make the show good first. They try to like have a message first and then have a show. And you can't do it in that order. You need a good show first, and then you can have the message, or you spend so much time developing the message that you have a good show around it, like Star Trek, like Orville, right? Shows that every shows that every episode are trying to give a message, say something about society, but so much time is spent on the writing that it's not as in your face, even though it's in your face. By the way, I love that somebody made a joke online. As my voice breaks again, somebody made a joke online about how, I realize I'm not sharing. Let me share the screen real quick. They're like, oh shit, Marvel's making a show about all the figures at Ollie's. Like all the figures that nobody wants is what the next TV show is. Outside of Bucky, I think you're right. Has Bucky made it to Ollie's? Bucky Captain America made it to Ollie's. Everybody else here has definitely made it. I still don't know who this girl is. Who's this one on the left? Is this one Taskmaster? And then this one is the Ghost or from Ant-Man 2, right? Ant-Man 2 villain? Or was that Ant-Man 1? No, yeah, this chick. Who is she again? Ghost? Yeah, Ghost. Yo, I forgot that this was Ant-Man 3. Oh, Marvel. Marvel gonna Marvel. Marvel gonna Marvel. I think Agatha would be better if they had Scarlet Witch in somewhere. If she wants to do it again, which I don't think she does. Creativity from the future in the house. Good to see you. Hey now, friends. T3 in the house. Good to see you. Got to see an early screening of Joker. Filet à deux on Tuesday. Absolutely terrible. Yo. Let's talk about that. So, point is proven right here. Point is proven right here. I forgot this movie was coming out this week. Totally forgot about that. Like, even though my algorithm, being superhero stuff, was reminding me that this was even a movie, and I did a reaction, I think, to this trailer 2 years ago, last year or something. Even though I was reminded day after day by my algorithm that this was a thing, I forgot. I truly forgot about it. And I brought it up randomly to some people at different times, and they're like, "Oh yeah, didn't see the first one." This movie, you know, it's not going to do well when the studio kind of stops promoting it. Again, it's in my algorithm, but I don't see ads everywhere. I don't see them appearing on various shows everywhere. You know, appearing on the nerd influencer stuff. It's not really happening. And the people who I did see at the premiere, I'm not trying to put her on blast or anything. Jackie Jing. What was her name from IGN? Was it Jackie Jing? Jang? Oh, I don't remember. Let me see. Was Black Nerd there? Yeah. So he's at the premiere. There's like nobody there. There's like nobody at this premiere. And this wasn't the only photo I saw where I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of like the fact that he's standing here and all this is wide open. There's nobody there. Nobody there. And then, again, it's not a knock on him. It's not a knock on other, nerd creators out there necessarily. But it's kind of to the point I mentioned earlier where, I was making the joke, but it's true. Like, you can't be, in my opinion, successful in this game to the extent that you get to go to cool things and like see cool things unless you're just consistently positive. You have to be. So, he went to premiere, maybe because of the embargo, he can't say anything, but he's not going to say anything negative about it unless it's way after the movie's out. And if people are universally hating on it, then he might say something bad. But I doubt he'll say something bad. What's his name? Straw Hat Goofy. Not even at it. He didn't even get to go. He goes to everything. Not there. But again, Straw Hat, he's not going to make a negative review about it unless it's after the fact and unless it's universally hated. Then, a post will come out like hating on it. But and there's other people out there. They're the only ones I know because they're the only ones I follow, and I'm actually like genuine like fans of. Again, I criticize. I'm not saying like, oh, they suck or anything. They don't suck what they do. I'm not saying that at all. But to win in the game, you kind of have to play the game. Is what it is. But going back to Joker, yeah, nobody's talking about it. None of these influencers are like talking about it. Not in my algorithm or nothing. It just randomly pops up. So I'm not surprised it sucks. It's a movie that didn't have to exist. Avatar 2 did crazy numbers because, CGI and all that stuff, but like, it didn't have to exist. Story was told. Story's done. Good thing I never saw Secret Invasion. Yeah. Agatha All Along, episode 4, banger. I don't know about that. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the like button, please. Thank you, sir. John Campia is a content machine. He is. He is. And, you know, I take back what I said about him a long time ago. Because I believed, and from what I used to watch, for a long time he was... Is my audio still on? Yeah. For a long time, I thought he was just kind of like positive reviews on stuff. But yeah, I see him calling it like it is.
Perfect.
I've seen him call it like it is. I got another super chat from Henry. Wow, I'm way behind on the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Henry said, if you turn your brain off and swallow your opinion, then you can get a press pass to events and host panels. Yeah, but if you're critical, you out the club. It's true. It's true. Wow, I'm way behind on the chat. I'm sorry about that, guys. Let me speed things up. And actually, I'm going to leave the screen up because there's something I want to talk about here. It's about what we're talking about. Where was I? Shit. Thank you for super chat, Henry.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
T3, I'm not watching. Yeah. Yeah. Dave said, I haven't watched the most recent episode. Feels like a twisted Wizard of Oz from Marvel. Yeah. Yeah, it could be that. Titans have potential, just didn't stick the landing. Yep. Rewatching Daredevil now. Yeah. Daredevil is one of those shows I put on like randomly. If I just want like something on the background, I'll throw on Daredevil. I thoroughly enjoy Agatha all along, better than I thought. Also for a $40 million project. Titans was good until they killed Hawk off. That was crazy. Hawk and Dove were my favorite parts of the show. But you know, when he died, that was either around the time Reacher was coming out or Reacher just came out. And I was like, oh yeah, he left to go do a better show. I was fine with it. Dada Films in the house. Good to see ya. The message is men bad, women good. Rex in the house. Good to see you. I mean, I enjoyed Birds of Prey. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody saying hi to each other. Totally forgot about that show. Yeah. Figure Fever in the house. Good to see you. Yeah. Ghosts. Yeah. We're saying hi to each other. Love that. HasLabs. Yeah. When it comes to Marvel, the best news is Deadpool and Wolverine on digital. Yeah. The movie was utterly pointless, drab, and awful. I think you mean Ant-Man 2. Joker 2. What's the language? My virgin ears. You said HasLabs. I heard the movie is so bad, I'm skipping it this weekend. Going to see Transformers instead. There you go. Buy physical media over digital. You'll own the movie. Digital, you are leasing it. Yeah, Indiana Jones got pulled off of Disney. So yeah, if you rely on the streaming apps for your stuff, you do roll the dice. Also, if you, for example, you know, hopefully everybody's doing better. That was through the storm, but you know, you lose power or whatever. If all your stuff's on streaming, you can't watch it. And there was something with Apple long time ago, back in my day, there was a thing with Apple where people, so if you remember, back when we were in the era of loading like your CDs onto your iTunes account to rip them so you can access them, you know, it would port over the album, and then you'd have to probably fill in like the blanks on what album is it, the track names. Eventually they caught up to it and they started doing that. But when you're porting things over, you know, Apple was kind of just logging what it was you had for the sake of your iTunes. But where people got pissed and what Apple started to do, and I didn't even know this, and then I went back and I was like, oh shit. At a certain point, Apple was like, oh, you put this concert version of Enter Sandman, right? Oh, that's not the official concert version. This is the official concert version. and overwrit the version you had. And people were like, what the fuck? Like that might have been like unofficial thing, or, you know, from a certain album that like they don't make anymore, but that's not what's in iTunes, and Apple erased it. So that caused a lot of people to say, I want to do physical media because I'm in control of what I have. It's here, versus I'm relying on digital. And then if they don't support that album anymore, that record label anymore, I still have my stuff at least. Now, I will say, for example, French Montana has an album like Mac and Cheese 3 or 4. I don't remember which one it was because they all kind of sound the same. But it was the album that had No Shopper, the song with Kodak Black. And the album, like the day before it was coming out, it got pulled. The album got pulled, never came out. However, if you had the songs already downloaded, like let's say you had the singles, or, you know, maybe if you got early access or something, they didn't delete it out of your library. So I have like 2 songs off that album. Lockjaw, I think was the song I'm thinking of. Yeah. Bite down. Yeah. Lockjaw. They didn't delete it. So I still have it, but I can't re-download it. It's gone, but not gone. So I'm hoping they got better with it. But yeah, Indiana Jones, for example, gone from Disney. So now if you want to watch it, hopefully you have it already. Are you talking about the Crow? This Batman Joker genre will never end. They will consistently be making films about these characters forever. Yeah, it's true. Dave, that was bad also, but it's not like, but this is not good. Like, I don't know why they've made it. Yeah. I'm buying physical, saying hi to each other. Smart man. Was saying D&W is something enjoyable by Marvel to watch. Yeah. How embarrassing for a movie premiere. Yeah. You should have followed the original Joker. You called out Black Nerd. I'm not calling him out like I don't like him or anything. He's one of the reasons I do this. People like him, I was just like, oh, I want to do that too. So I love Black Nerd, but it is what it is. Go see Transformers 1, second best animated movie of the year. More weed. Preach on. Yeah, why do you think all the reviews for The Crow were good? They used TikTok influencers over actual pundits with credibility. Yeah. Saw the first few episodes of season 3 when they did the Red Hood. That was peak for the show. Quickly fell off. Yeah. We were watching that. Yeah, same time. Like Transformers a lot. Has some issues, but it was a good time. Agatha, the one with Jack Black and Lizzo. No, that's Star Wars. Was Jack Black and something else too? Yeah, Alan, who played Hawk, was Aquaman of Smallville. Yep, so I'm sure he wanted out of the comic book game, especially with his experience with the Bay Ninja Turtle movies. Yep. I don't think he wanted out fully, but if you have a chance to star in a show versus just be one of a whole team, I'm going to go with being a star. Lost power for 4 days. I'm glad you're back. Definitely rewatching 1. Yeah. How come I only have 1 wing? How do I get the other wing? Do you mean the membership thing? I can't see it on this screen. You might be talking about the membership thing. I just had funky vibes from the trailer for TF1. I hear people, Transformers maybe? I hear people love it, but I guess it's just a bit biased. TF. What was TF? Oh, Indiana Jones is on Paramount now. Interesting. Has anyone seen Netflix Terminator? Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't finish it, but I didn't like it. I don't know anybody who watched the whole thing and thought it was great. Started watching it, animated series. Nice. I heard a lot about it. You know, I was saying it on the show a couple weeks ago. There's just nothing new about it. Like it's just a Terminator show. It just doesn't. It didn't really do much for me. Let me check something. Sorry for any go. Gotta give out some more wrenches. I feel like I don't have enough wrenches out there. Who's missing? I know somebody. Cutthroat. You don't have a wrench. Is everybody else out there wrench? Henry has a wrench. Dada. Mega Dan needs a wrench. You get a wrench. You get a wrench. You all get a wrench. All right, I think it's everybody. Yeah, it should be everybody. So I do want to come back to this. As actually, he normally doesn't he say that? He says, and now, let's talk about this, shall we? We switch screens. He's loving Agatha, by the way. Loving it. Here we go.
That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Sometimes I just don't get the movie world. I just don't. I don't mind so much when a bad movie makes a lot of money because that's marketing and stuff like that. And that's fine. And that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. It's like, yay. But it's always sad when you get like a truly wonderful film that suffers and stumbles at the box office. Because to me, it sends, when great movies don't do well at the box office, it sends a very bad message to the studios. And the newest installment of this little series of really good movies that didn't do great at the box office is Transformers 1. Now, Transformers 1 is not a ridiculously expensive movie to make. I think the last I checked was $70 to $75 million is what it cost to make. The projections weren't great for opening weekend, but they were okay. At the low end, they were projecting it would make 30 million. Some of the more optimistic ones said 35. Some even said 40 million it could make opening weekend, which would have been great. And clearly that would have made it the #1 box office movie this weekend because we all knew that Beetlejuice was probably going to come in somewhere around 25 million. It was going to drop by about another half from last week. So at 30 million, Transformers 1 should easily be, and probably 35, maybe 40, it should be good. When the reviews came out for Transformers 1, incredibly solid. Ray, can you look up the RT on that?
Sure.
Right.
So, this is a scenario, and I have my thoughts. This is a scenario where, as creators in this space, a lot of times we are very delusional. Very delusional. And this isn't a knock on John. There is a point to be made here. Great Scott Prop Shop. Good to see you, Wes. We get delusional because we get into this echo chamber of nerd stuff. It's what we do. It's what we consume. We talk about it every day. Where it's in our algorithm. It is what it is. But because of that, we think, well, if we're talking about it, then everybody must be talking about it. And if we're talking about it, then all of the masses must be all about it. Not the case. Not the case. Not how it works. That's why when it comes to, like, for example, the anti-Star Wars stuff, right? Like the Disney Star Wars sucks shit. I slowed down talking about it so much because it doesn't matter. Casual fans, casual people, the general audience doesn't care about it like that. They just don't. These are conversations that we have because we're like all about this content. But this is not what most people are talking about. Not at all. So with this movie, it can have all the great reviews it wants. But if they're all great reviews from just nerd reviewers who are hardcore about this stuff, it's not going to do anything for the mass public. It means nothing to them. You got to have like major outlets talking about this movie the way that Deadpool Wolverine was happening. Right? Like I don't know what people watch these days. Let's say MTV, right? Like if MTV was like talking about it, then it's like, oh, pop culture. But if like they're not talking about this, if pop culture reference, if whatever the kids watch these days is not talking about this thing, it can happen. It's not going to do well. But I have a theory specifically about why I don't think it did well.
Now, actually, I'll bring
Let
it
me
up
go.
right now.
Okay.
I'm going to go over here. I think that had got me. Let's see.
To me, to a younger generation as much, right? People who grew up playing with Transformers are in their 40s and 50s. And Transformers hasn't done a lot to develop and grow a new generation of fans. Transformers 1 is doing it, but is it too little too late? So I can't help but wonder, because they made a great movie, the audiences loved it, the critics loved it. I think the three things we're looking at is the reputation was too hard to overcome, the first trailer made a lot of people check out already, and the fact of the matter is the Transformers aren't as cool as they are to me, to a younger generation as much, right?
I mean,
I agree with a lot of that. And Michael Bay takes some shots in this conversation. But I still don't blame him for this.
my thing would be just to add on to yours. They need a little bit more money in marketing, just a little bit. Even if the first trailer was bad, the Minions, when we were watching a movie, they had a small spot before a movie started where the trailer's about to start, and you had the two Minions. If you had a little Bumblebee thing like that, just Bumblebee, where he's playing to the crowd, he's like, just every now and then include Bumblebee, because Bumblebee was the charm of the movie, I believe. Then you'll have like maybe kids, maybe in front of like the Inside Out 2, maybe have little spots in there. Then the kids will be like, what's that? What's that character?
Yeah.
But they
This
played
and that.
the trailers before.
You know, because we can't always
Well, he means
defend-
like integrating them into
integrated,
like,
you know how
yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine had just a little bit more money in marketing. They didn't even have a popcorn bucket. When I go into the toy store or a Target,
Yeah, but you
I
have
look
to
in the
buy a
sections.
ticket to the movie
I know,
before seeing
I
the
know,
popcorn
no.
bucket.
But I mean, make it bigger than what you know. Like I mean, at least look like you care about it. When I go into a Target, whatever, I look at Transformers section. You can't see any Transformer 1 toys. I don't think it makes me feel like maybe they weren't had as much faith in this movie.
But
So I think that's wrong. And I think that ties into this image here. Why this movie failed. Now, if we're going to talk about the Michael Bay stuff, right? And in that conversation, they discuss that people are burnt out on Transformers because of Michael Bay and that he effed it up. Do I have it on? Yeah. Let's try it again. Transformers. Boom. All right. So right now, when we look at the list, the Michael Bay movies did crazy numbers, right? Oh, I went too high. We'll start here. They did crazy numbers as far as, you know, people wanting to see the movies. And did it overstay its welcome? For sure. For sure. Totally did. But when you look at these two movies here, Bumblebee and then Rise of the Beast, they didn't do bad. They did not do bad. And Rise of the Beast in June of 23, people were like indifferent to the trailers. People were like, I don't know. But it still did crazy numbers. Well, not crazy numbers, but it still did better than one would have thought, right? If things were getting worse off Michael Bay. But there's something about these two movies, and there's something about all of these movies that Transformers 1 does not do. I don't think when you look at this, and this is going to sound stupid. I believe this is going to sound so dumb. But I don't think as an adult who loves Transformers, you look at this and say, I'm going to take time out of my day to go watch it. I think you say to yourself, I'm going to wait until this is on streaming, and then I'll watch it. Unless you have a kid and you want to introduce them to Transformers. Now, people would say, and they said it in this, well, Turtles did well. The Paramount Ninja Turtle movie did well. Why didn't this one? That one's your coin toss, right? In the Turtles trailer, they're blatantly kids. And because they're blatantly kids, I think as kids watch them, the kids are like, oh, that looks fun. That looks like me. I'm going to go see it. With Transformers, I don't think kids see this and necessarily think, oh, that's me. They just think it's a cool robot. Now, if robots are not in at the time of this release, then the kids are not going to be into it. Not at all. Whereas with Turtles, yes. Turtles at the time, young kids doing whatever, like, they have all the cool, like, sayings that kids say in the movie, having fun. The visuals are very Spider-Verse, which is popular. So kids are more inclined to see that. This, I don't think kids look at this and say, I understand what's happening. This is something I'm into. I want to go see it. Now, to refute my man's point over here, all of you toy hunters in the chat, you see the turtle aisle. Or sorry, you see the turtle section of the toy aisle. Full. All of that, all the turtle stuff from that movie, peg warming. Dust. So I don't think it has nothing to do with toys. Because despite what the society may think, at this point in time, most people buying toys are not kids. It's us, degenerate assholes. We're the ones buying kids. Buying toys. So, yeah, Transformers, when you go look at that in that section of the aisle, there's Transformers 1 stuff. Sits there. The more expensive Transformers things, empty. Pegs are empty. And I think that's why this movie failed. This movie, of this entire list, outside of the first movie back in 86, these are the only two on the list that you would say were aimed at kids specifically, not to adults. And I think that's why adults skipped Transformers 1. And because kids just don't give a shit about Transformers, they didn't go either. And now you have nobody. It's either that or it's Chris Hemsworth. People just don't care about Chris Hemsworth. But I truly think that's why this movie failed. Because Rise of the Beast, you know, when you really think about it, Rise of the Beast had no business making $400 million coming off of what we had before. Bumblebee only made 270, but Rise of the Beast made 400. So it was doing this as far as popularity goes. But then this movie, nothing. You didn't get the kids, and you didn't aim it towards the actual consumer of Transformers. And if you need proof, like Henry says, it's not what you know, it's what you prove. All these different Transformers options on here. Transformers 1 sits there. Optimus sells out because Optimus. But if I go to like some other things, What's the expensive one? I don't collect Transformers. What's the expensive line? Is it Masterpiece? Do they have that on here? I don't know what these I don't know what these mean. I mean, even Grimlock here sells for what? $1,500? That's who you need to make a movie for. The person who's buying this thing. Not the kids on this one. Not at all. Where's the HasLab? You need this person. This is who you need to attract a movie towards. I'm going to spend $180 on a figure, one figure. That's who the movie should be for. Not the kids. Not this franchise. Not now. Not now. Now, maybe if they threw Optimus in Fortnite or something, sure. Not happening. Let me catch up on the chat. It says quality of Transformers toys sucks. I'll wait to watch this with my granddaughter a few years from now. There you go. Marv in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, but the CGI in all those Michael Bay movies was dope. Yeah. But you also looked at those trailers and thought, as an adult, I can watch that. And it came at a time where nostalgia wasn't really in yet. But people were like, oh, I love Transformers. Who do you like? The truck. Cool. You grab that casual audience. This one does not attract casual audience. Despicable Me 4 and Inside Out 2 top animated of the year. Might even just be top overall of the year. Wolverine number 2, and then Inside Out 1 and 3. Yeah. By the way, if right here, Inside Out 2, Disney. Deadpool Wolverine, Disney. Universal. Warner Brothers. And who owns Godzilla Kong? Warner Brothers. All right. So Warner Brothers has 2 out of the top 5. Disney has 2 out of the top 5. And then you have Universal on there. So when people tell you in their YouTube videos, Disney is failing, Disney's feeling the hurt, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. It's in your face. I think if you were a Transformers fan, you have watched it by week 2, even as a skeptic, because you would at minimum be in online communities where it would have been recommended. Again, if that's not that's not casual at that point. If you're in a Transformers community online, you're hardcore by default. Same, it's like Ghostbusters, right? Like, I remember telling you guys when Ghostbusters came out, or before it came out, I was like, I'm afraid it's not going to do well because casual people don't give a shit about Ghostbusters. Us, who buy everything, give a shit. Nobody else does. And look, it only broke even at the end. Whenever I'm in Walmart and Target, I always walk down the aisle to see if there's anything cool. Yeah, Transformers, full rack, unless you're looking at the expensive stuff. Turtles, full rack, unless you're looking at the NECA stuff. Again, more expensive, and that is even sold out. The toys aimed at a younger demographic are not selling. The toys aimed at us are the ones selling. Peg Warmer's a good name for a toy store, yeah. So at this point, it's remaining casual watchers and parents who may take their kids, but towards the tail end of it being in theaters, yeah. The movie did make me pre-order the 30 MDLX stuff. I don't even know what that means. But again, you're the one they need to get. Because then you tell me to go watch the movie. Prices are insane as well. As Live Transformers always make their goal. Yeah, the fans are out there. They're out there. Oh, he was in Fortnite. All right. And even that didn't work. That's crazy. That's crazy. I had no interest in seeing the first Transformers when I heard about it. But then I saw the trailer and it changed my mind circa 2007. I've not seen any of them in theaters. Now that I think about it, I didn't know that until just now. Never noticed that. Yeah, I don't think I've had any desire to see any of those in theaters. I think the only movie I want to see in theaters was the OG from back in the day. But that's the thing. You need people like me to want to go see the movie. And when I look at the trailer and see that it's like a kiddie movie, I ain't going if I ain't got kids. It ain't going to happen. And that's how most people probably feel. And in the streaming era, you need the casuals. You need the casuals. Let's just go back to box office real quick, and then we'll wrap for today. All right, so last weekend, The Wild Robot was #1 animated movie. You look at it, looks like it's for kids. If you were a parent, you're like, oh, I'm going to take my kid to this thing. But, I don't know. Transformers, I don't think anybody cares. Beetlejuice, I don't understand how it did what it did. I don't. I'm telling you, I really wish we were still doing Nerdy Coffee going into Beetlejuice. I would have predicted 25, 30. Transformers numbers, to me, would have been Beetlejuice. Man, people went out for this movie. And I don't think they even remember the old movie. But it's cool to say you saw it, you know? So you need that too. I don't think it's cool for elder millennials who don't collect, but they're like, oh, I was there. I used to like that when I was a kid. I don't think they want to be like, oh, I want to go see Transformers. But I think they're like, oh, Beetlejuice. Yeah. They don't remember anything about the old movie. But you got Jenna Ortega in it. You got that emo flair to it. The kids that grew up on MCR. Panic at the Disco. Oh, I gotta go see Beetlejuice. The movie my 16-year-old self wanted to see. It never happened. So I would have never guessed it would have 377 million. Never. Did it. Great Scott saw it on Saturday. Did you like it? OG Beetlejuice is best. I didn't like that movie. And I understand. Hey, I've got some crazy takes. Everybody's guilty of them. Another crazy take I have, I hated Ready Player One. People are like, what? Wasn't my thing. Didn't like Beetlejuice either. Teens love Beetlejuice too. There you go. You have the teens involved as well. Now you got the generation that's becoming emo. They're getting into it. They're getting into the old stuff. You know, they're getting into the My Chemical Romance. They're getting into they're getting into Green Day. Classic rock at this point. Sucks to say out loud, huh? Beetlejuice's reason to go outside in public without combing your hair. Yeah. So you said I did. It was entertaining. I thought then could get rid of the ex-wife plot line, but I thought they could get rid of the ex-wife plot line, but it's okay. Yeah. It's a movie they put together last minute. Definitely had that vibe. Because they knew they'd just do something. I didn't think they'd get that kind of numbers, but, you know. And smart on them. Release it in Halloween season. So yeah. All right. Well, that's a wrap. That's an episode. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for watching. Moral of the story is don't be a sucker. Don't be a yes man. Because a yes man would tell you that Transformers was going to do crazy numbers. A yes man tells you Frozen Empire is doing crazy numbers. But for that reason, we also won't get invited to anything ever. And we have to be okay with that. We have to be okay with that. I say Hollywood, no more remakes or reboots of classic 80s and 90s movies, please. They ain't going to listen to you. Not with Beetlejuice doing what it did. It felt like the first one, they both landed in the therapist chairs. Yeah. That's the thing. Nostalgia still sells. As much as we hate to admit it, nostalgia still brings in the money. That's why we do this, right? That's why we buy the figures we buy. You're not buying the new Turtle stuff because of the new show. You're buying because of the old stuff. Nostalgia. So, yeah. Yeah, don't be a sucker, MC. Exactly. So, yeah. Next week is the last HeyArcher Live in this space, which is crazy. Will I be able to live stream next week? I don't know, actually, because we move next weekend, which is crazy to say. But I'll try. I'll try to stream next week. If I can't, then wow. So next week we move. I might not be able to stream. Week after that, New York Comic Con, no stream. So potentially we might run into a 2-week hiatus unintentionally. Because of work, I need to use my computer, so I assume I'll be set up by the 24th. So you'll definitely have a show 3 weeks from now. But I don't see why I shouldn't be able to do next week, but there's a chance. And definitely not doing a show on the week of the 17th because we'll be in New York. Actually, at that point, we'll be in Pennsylvania. Then we're in New York for Comic-Con. Gonna try to record a couple more upgrades for the Proton Pack. Anthony has a couple of a couple of videos coming down the pipeline. So you'll have some of that. But I'll tell you what I'm excited about. Where we're moving is extremely, extremely close to like HQ for Halloween. We're not going to be living in Salem, but we'll be living pretty close. I'm very excited for that. Because since I've moved here, I've gotten the Halloween bug out by going to Comic-Cons. Halloween's my favorite holiday. And going to the New York City Halloween parade every year was my jam. Haven't done it in forever. But now I'm going to be super close to where Halloween explodes for an entire month. So I'm excited for that. And maybe I'll get some videos out there for various things, various parades, that kind of stuff. So you might see more Halloween things here on the channel. Maybe not this year because we'll be moving there now, but next year for sure. But yeah, excited for the new space. New podcast setup. We've not had a new setup in a couple years. How will I set it up? I don't know. But I'm definitely leaning more towards my roots, which is cosplay stuff, over collecting things, figures. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't even know what space I'm going to be in this new house. So a lot to see, but it's going to be a good time, and you guys will be along for the ride for sure. For sure. No hate towards Black Nerd Comedy. No hate towards Straw Hat Goofy. No hate towards John Campia. Love them all. Fans of them all. They were literally just references in today's episode. What? Last check. Yeah, they can't do it. Thank you. The end, the beginning of a new season of Nerd Affiliated. It's true. I should make a new intro for the channel because of that. Good luck on the move. Thank you. Everybody laughing at each other. Yeah. Be well, everyone. Thoughts and prayers to all those affected and recovering from the hurricane. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Love you guys. Always remember somebody's dealing with stuff worse than you are. So appreciate what you have. HeyArcher Live every Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. Nerdy Coffee will be back. Time and date to be determined. New York Comic Con's coming up, so the Proton Pack videos will be coming up. Anthony's videos are coming up. Love you guys like you wouldn't believe. Like, comment, subscribe. Talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm out of here.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.